I don't remember any of it.
You don't remember?
For you, the day bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 175. Just a reminder before we start that you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all the love. Also, we are part of the Gaming Podcast Alliance. Check out all of the fine podcasts featured on there if you're looking for more gaming goodness. And before we start the show, we have a giveaway winner. That Ender guy is our lucky winner. One copy of Kingdom Hearts will be sent out to you. So we will follow up on Twitter and get all the details to you. Congratulations again on that Ender guy for winning. And, thanks to all who entered. I am your host, Dave Rotino, and this is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster formerly known as Classic Robinson.
Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July, Dan.
What's going on, man?
As you're hearing this podcast, 4th of July has come and gone. It was a long weekend, I think, for both me and you.
Well, I should say happy belated 4th of July.
Happy belated 4th of July. That is very appropriate. Yes. Happy belated 4th of July. Did you have a good 4th of July? I had a very good 4th of July.
I had a really good 4th of July. I didn't do anything special, but binge watch a bunch of stuff. What did you? I tried to go to the beach, but it got rained out.
So I went down to the Jersey Shore, as you do. My family has a nice little cottage on the beach down there, right? And it's kind of a tradition every year to go down for the 4th of July weekend because they go all out with the fireworks. All the families come down. All the families set up their fireworks on the beach, and they just let loose. So you're like feet from where all the action happens, right? You just walk down to the beach with a nice little solo cup and your drink, and you spend about an hour watching the fireworks display. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Wait,
so
an hour? It takes that? Wait, it's that long?
It started at 8:30, and we kind of stepped out about 8:35, 8:40 because I started like popping some off, and when we got back, it was like 9:30, and they technically weren't done. They were still going because like every family has their own set of fireworks. So when one person ends, they basically tag team in somebody else, and they're like, I got this. I got this. And it's all up and down the beach, right? Everyone's got their own little set, and they just keep going. Oh, it's beautiful, Dan. It's a beautiful display. So,
well, I know actually, for the first time ever, I was in Manhattan, in the city, on a rooftop, watching the Macy's fireworks display live.
Oh, nice.
Never did that before. It was awesome. They even had they closed down the Brooklyn Bridge, and they even had fireworks on the bridge, which was shocking.
No way.
Like, I didn't. Yeah, it's crazy. It was like it had like all the fireworks going down in the water, and they had the spark. It was bananas. I was like, yo, the Brooklyn Bridge, look over there. I was like crazy. I was like, wow. So it was weird because like when you watch it on TV, they have the music going with the fireworks, right? So you know when the finale's coming because they hit that drop, and you're like, oh, the big finale. There is no music when you're watching it live, so you don't know how long it's gonna go. I don't know, like I think this is the finale. This looks like the finale. Everything looked like it's about to explode, so I think this is the finale. It was awesome. I will say this though, if you ever go to, well, I don't think this is exclusive for New York, but if you ever go to a big fireworks display and you're on the rooftop, be prepared to choke from all the smoke that's going to come your way.
Oh,
It was so, it was like super like black cloud smoke.
Oh, it's like dust clouds. You can't see anything. Like it's super thick. Yeah.
And they had all the debris from the fireworks like floating in the air.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's how close I was because I was on a rooftop in a building that was you could probably jump into the water. So I was super close.
That's awesome.
Not that I recommend jumping in the water.
Right.
It was crazy.
I've seen it a couple times on the West End, off the Hudson and whatnot, and they do. Macy's goes all out. Macy's is 100% every time.
Okay, so
they put on a good show.
So listen. I went to a rooftop. We had some beers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the kids. They were when I say kids, they weren't like children, but there was some 18, 19-year-old kids. Kids there. I say kids because we're GMGs. They may or may not have been drinking beer. I don't know what was in their cups. I didn't expect them. I'm no one's parent. I'm not a chaperone.
Were you trying to be an adult right now and be like, I don't know if you should be drinking? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I was like, hey, you guys old enough to drink? And everyone looked at each other and they're like, yeah. I was like, okay, good enough for me. I'm not the police.
Down. You're being a narc, Dan. You can't
I'm not the police. I'm not the police. But, when a third cup, we all looked at each other and was like, why is it the Macy's fireworks display? Why isn't it J.C. Penney? Like, why does Macy's do everything in New York? They have the fireworks on 4th of July. They have the Thanksgiving Day parade. I'm sure they have other things, right? They have the fall flower show or whatever, right? That we have in New York.
They have the windows for Christmas. There's that too.
So why is it not the J.C. Penney Thanksgiving Day parade? Why isn't it the Marshall's fireworks display?
The Marshalls. You mean the discount store where you can get all this like random kind of not ready for sale items?
Why is
they have a couple threads loose and a couple holes.
Why is it the GameStop Christmas window?
Yeah, look, GameStop can't even keep their own stores afloat, let alone host a fireworks display. They've just been doing it ever since anyone can remember. So, it's kind of funny.
That's all I'm saying. Why isn't it diversity in New York? Everything is Macy's, okay?
Well, I mean, Macy's pays for it, right? I don't think the state or city government gives them any breaks or whatever for doing that.
Why isn't
they put out all their own money?
Well, why is it TJ Maxx paying for it? You know how much I spent in TJ Maxx? I brought the luggage when we went to the PAX. I paid a good money for that luggage at TJ Maxx.
Hey man. I don't care who throws off the fireworks as long as it's a good show. And this was definitely a good show. So
it was a good show. It was a great show. First time I've ever been there. I'm excited to go. Hopefully I can get a chance to get invited back next year. Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But I did say I binge watch a bunch of stuff over like sort of the extended weekend because we had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Well, first and foremost, I did go see Spiderman Far From Home.
Mm-hmm.
I know you didn't see it. No spoilers.
I haven't.
I'm gonna say, if you know the comics, if you watch the cartoon and use common sense, you will understand who the bad guy is in the movie.
Yeah, okay. Say no more. Say no more.
But the end will surprise you. Yeah. The end will surprise you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a little salty because I think the trailer was a lie. I want to talk about it so bad, but you haven't seen it. We can't even do a spoiler class because you haven't seen it. So you got to see it.
I have not.
You got to see it so I can discuss with you. So if maybe I missed something in a movie and you could say, Dan, you have no reason to be salty. You missed this part where they said XYZ, right? So I'm just saying, I think the trailer was a little misleading.
Mm-hmm.
I dare say, and okay, maybe not. It may not be Halo 5 misleading, but I think it's a little misleading. I want to talk about it with you so bad right now. Anyway, all right, I'll put that to the side. And I watched John Wick 3. Finally, I know it's been. I'm late to the party. I get it. I understand.
You're late to the party. I just saw John Wick 1.
Wait, what? Wait. You just saw How do you not see John Wick 1 and 2 already?
Well, I saw the first one, so I saw the first one. I haven't seen 2 yet. I'm sorry. I will get around to it, Dan. I will get around to it.
John Wick 3. Okay, so you haven't seen John Wick 2. Well, John Wick. Okay, what do you think about John Wick 1? It was
I
good,
loved
right?
it. I loved it.
All right.
I thought it was.
All right, good.
Great. Keanu
John Wick
Reeves is
2
awesome. Very, very like charismatic.
Well,
He gets
John Wick
revenge
2
for his dog. It's great.
John Wick 2 goes a little over the top. John Wick 3 goes all the way over the top. Okay.
Well, it's honestly it's turning into Fast and the Furious. They're
I'm just
making
waiting for the-
franchise
I'm just
after
wait-
franchise. It's following a formula.
I'm just waiting for The Rock to be like another assassin that needs to kill.
Oh, 100%, man. He is franchise Viagra, as he said when he hosted Saturday Night Live.
Well, you-
It's franchise Viagra.
I didn't even know.
You like that? Yeah. It's so good, and it's true. It's true. He's totally.
True. It's true.
He revives any franchise.
Well, Common was in John Wick 2, so The Rock needs to be in John Wick 4. But I will. You want to talk about throwing shade and The Rock and Fast and Furious? The Rock will not be in Fast and Furious 9. I don't know if we talked about this on the show, but John Cena will be in Fast and Furious 9. Burn.
John
Let's
Cena.
burn.
That's right.
Let's burn.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, Vin Diesel and Tyrese. Well, screw Tyrese. He ain't got nothing else other than Transformers and Fast and Furious. He not singing no more.
Well, no, I mean, I do
Vin
know
Diesel-
that Vin Diesel and The Rock, I think, were button heads.
Well, The Rock is like, listen, I love Paul Walker. He's gone, rest in peace, right? And we did a tribute, movie to him and everything. Then we did another movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
I should be the face of, because everyone's talking about me, so maybe I should be the face. And we're talking about a spinoff with Hobbs and Shaw, which is coming out, I think, next month. I'm going to see it.
Mm-hmm.
It looks over the top.
Well, Hobbs and Shaw is going to be great.
And Vin Diesel's like, nah, I'm the face. so they're going back and forth over that. Tyrese is just mad because they stopped production of Fast and Furious 9 to do the Hobbs and Shaw and then do Fast and Furious 9. And he's just mad because he's not getting a paycheck anywhere else because Transformers sucks.
It ain't great.
It's not great. I didn't even see the last one. I didn't even see Bumblebee.
Critically, it's not good. Oh, Bumblebee is supposed to be amazing, like an actually good movie. Critically, the Transformers movies do not do well. Commercially, they do fantastic.
Of course.
Because China.
Listen, Batman.
It's not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee
all
that
the-
every big budget action movie is going to do well.
Listen, all the DC movies do well at the box office, like money wise, right? I
guess, yeah.
It's not critically acclaimed, and it doesn't make any sense because of continuity. It's like the WWE. The continuity just doesn't make sense. Does it make sense? How do you have so many?
No.
And they have 3 Jokers. We're gonna have a different Batman in the middle of like the apex of what's supposed to be the Justice League 2 and 3, right? Like, are we ever gonna get a Justice League 2 or 3? Is Batman gonna be in any of the other movies? And if he is, how are you going to explain he's not Ben Affleck? He's a Twilight guy.
Honestly, I am treating each one of the DC movies as their own entity. I don't care how they try and time in and this and that. I go into Aquaman, I think, all right, I'm going to see an Aquaman movie. It's a one-man superhero movie. He does some underwater shit, battles some sea creatures and wins the day. And I'm like, you know what? I'm good. Wonder Woman, she travels through time, this and that, fights some crime, beats up some bad guys, saves the day. All right. So I think if you treat them as their own movies and one of them turns out to be really bad, it's like, well, okay, that's that one movie that's bad. Right.
You know what pisses me off? This is what pissed me off. All the DC movies just they don't make any sense. It's just convoluted.
Well, Wonder Woman was good. Aquaman was pretty good.
They were okay. I'll be honest. I thought the Wonder Woman movie, and I thought it was okay. It was good. It was good. I didn't like the ending. I didn't even like the bad guy. To be honest, the villain was weak. Yeah, the villain might as well be a Marvel villain, right? I mean, that's not Thanos. Kind of weak. And that's the main complaint with Marvel. Like, their villains are sort of weak. Because we're building up for Thanos, which was epic.
Right? Yeah. I mean, you gotta have a whiplash or two before you get to the big bad boss, right?
Or 3 or 4 or 5.
I mean, sure.
And then you got Aquaman. I gotta be honest. I know DC fans gotta hold on to something. I didn't think it was that good. It was okay. It was okay. I was like,
It was
you know,
entertaining though, right? And that's all that matters. They're
If
popcorn movies.
Aquaman was a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, people would be saying, it's one of the worst ones. It's good,
I mean,
but it's one of the worst
sure,
ones. But everyone's
because all the
praising
Marvel
it.
movies are great though. That's
Yeah,
the
but
thing.
everyone's praising it because they got to praise something from the DCU.
Well, okay. Iron Man 2 is like, Iron Man 3 is like one of the worst ones. It's still a fun movie. I'll still watch it, you know. I ain't mad at it. I will not kick it out of bed.
Iron Man 3 and Iron Man 2, for God's sake, are vastly superior to the Wonder Woman and Aquaman movies.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, before you cut me off, I was going to tell you, the Marvel Netflix shows are vastly superior to the Wonder Woman, or the Wonder Woman, Batman v Superman, Aquaman, all of those.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that, I actually binge watched the last season of Jessica Jones. Awesome.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Real
It wasn't just
Real
good because that's the end of it.
No, real good. And they even left a stupid, they left room for season
continuation.
4, right?
Continuation.
Which is not going to happen, or at least on Netflix. But
Well,
it could be it, right? It could be it. It could just leave it that way, the way it is. But they left a little bit of room, a little bit of imagination at the end.
pretty sure it's all gonna. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's all gonna. They probably did that just in case some miracle happens and they're able to get the rights again, or it moves over to the Disney Plus network or whatever. But
it was really good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. I binge watched the heck out of it. And I was like, this is awesome.
Nice.
And also, 4th of July, July 5th, I should say, I binge watched Stranger Things 3.
Correction, Dan. We binge watch Stranger Things.
You watched it?
Season 3.
Wait,
Yeah.
you watched it? I didn't even know you watched it.
Yeah.
It was so awesome.
Right. Now
it was so good.
We can't really say anything because it just came out.
All right, we're not gonna do a spoiler, but I will say this, because I didn't even know this until after I binge watched. I had to go back. I didn't know that they had like a Marvel ending cutscene after the credits.
Yeah, man. You got to stay to the end always, right?
I didn't even know that. I missed that whole part. So I had to go back and watch
X-Men taught you anything? Like the first X-Men, I think was like the first movie to do that. Well, the first movie to kick off like all these end credit things and whatnot. I'm sure some other movies have kind of done like secret things at the end, but they were kind of just one-offs and whatnot. Always stay to the end of the credits. Right? I was watching the credits go, and there's a whole extra like maybe like a minute, right? It's like a minute and a half extra at the end of it.
It's so good. I'm excited to see where they take it for season 4.
Mm-hmm. They are doing I think 2 more seasons. The Duffer Brothers have confirmed that they only want to do so many. Season 3, by all accounts so far, the metrics are good. Right? People are watching it like crazy. Everyone's binging it. I think most people just kind of watch it all the way through because they give you all 8 episodes. So you get to see the adventures in the Starcourt Mall. Which
I say don't. All I gotta say is don't. They shouldn't. I know they want to end on a high note. They don't want to get to a point where like they're in season 9 and it sucks. All right.
Exactly.
But don't put yourself in a box. What if after season 5? Season 5 is bananas. You can get a couple of more seasons out of that, maybe 6 or 7. You never know.
Well, I mean, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, but that's where like the overarching story arc comes into play, right? I take for example Lost, right? Lost was
no. Please take Lost. No, somebody really take Lost.
No. So Lost went on
I know
for 6
what
seasons,
you're gonna
right?
say. I never watched Lost, by the way.
Well, okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and say this without spoiling it. I would still say to watch it. It was still it was a really fun experience. But seasons like 1 and 2 were super tight, right? And then seasons 3 and 4, and maybe even arguably season 5, were all just filler. There was a bunch of random shit that happened and this and that. They took you on wild goose chases, tons of red herrings. And at the end of the day, a lot of the stuff that got resolved in season 6 was essentially like things that were plucked from season 1 and 2. And it was like, oh, this is what the whole thing is about. And this is how it resolves, and this is the ending, right? So they didn't know what they were doing in the middle, right? I am pretty certain that the Duffer Brothers know what the arc is, right? And they know that it's going to take X amount of episodes to do X amount of seasons to finish up. So I feel confident that they're going to get in and get out, and you're going to be satisfied. Like, it's all going to tie up nicely. It's all going to get resolved. You know, so people may die. I don't know.
Netflix has this thing with canceling things after a few seasons. Anyway,
Well,
nothing ever stays forever on Netflix.
That's true.
They will cancel stuff all the time.
That's true. So anyway.
But as we cancel one thing, I get excited for another, and they announced Superman's no longer Superman. He is now going to be the Witcher.
Yeah,
Henry Cavill is going to be the Witcher.
Speaking of the DC universe and all that, like Henry Cavill no longer Superman. Yeah, which is weird. It's weird. I thought he was a good Superman.
I still hold out hope. I'm thinking he's going to come back. He just, maybe want to put it out there so they get better scripts written. You never know. They put out Netflix put out. They put out some marketing material posters. It's still of the Witcher series on Netflix. It's a little weird to see Superman with long white hair. It's a little weird, not gonna lie. I just want to know one thing.
Yep.
Is his 5 o'clock shadow digitally enhanced?
Oh my god, I certainly hope not. Oh, that was terrible CG. Like, I understand he had another movie role and he had to keep the mustache and the facial hair and all that.
He was in a James Bond movie.
Right, exactly. I just, that was just a bad move. That was a bad move all around. I don't know whose call that was.
No. Was it James Bond or it was James Bond? I'm bugging.
Maybe. I'm not sure. But regardless, he needed it for another movie role, so they couldn't just shave his face. Superman is obviously a clean-shaven individual, right? They didn't want to stray from that, which,
why can't Superman be gritty?
They could have.
Mission Impossible. It was Mission Impossible. Might as well be James Bond. Mission Impossible.
Right. So for Mission Impossible 5 or 6 or whatever it was.
I don't know. I lost count. It's just like the Fast and the Furious.
Well, anyway, we do know that Henry Cavill is a big Witcher fan. He does love video games. He does love The Witcher. He wanted to be a part of this, so there is hope there. From the kind of stills, the promotional stills, it looks pretty accurate. He's got the outfit and all that. He's got the gray hair. He's got the giant silver sword.
Doesn't The Witcher have like 2 swords?
I think he's supposed to. The bit that I played of it, if I remember correctly, there's like a silver sword and a non-silver sword, like a regular sword. And the silver sword is like for special monsters or demons. Yeah, I mean, maybe he picks it up along the way. Maybe it's a short sword hanging off the side that we can't see. But it looks pretty good. We see him, and we also see, who's the other person? Ciri and Yennefer. Right, they're. I think Yennefer is the love interest. I think Ciri is also a love interest too, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't played this game in a while. Please do not crucify me. But they look good too. It's kind of shaping up to be something decent.
Well, they're gonna. I think they're gonna have a trailer at San Diego Comic-Con.
SDCC, which is coming up soon. I think in the next month and a half, maybe.
I thought isn't it? Yeah, no, it's coming up soon, but isn't it like even sooner
July?
Than that?
Yeah, it's coming up this month. Coming up in a couple weeks, maybe a week and a half.
No, it's July 18th.
Yeah, there we go.
It's coming up in 10 days.
There we go. So in 10 days, we will get to see the teaser trailer.
Well, people at San Diego Comic-Con will get to see it. I don't know if they're gonna release it to the public.
Oh,
they don't. Yeah, you know how they keep things closed doors.
I feel like they're gonna leak it. They're gonna leak it out.
But Dave, we're not just rated V for video games and rated M for movies.
You meant to say rated M for movies.
Rated N. I actually meant to say rated N for Netflix.
We're not just rated N for Netflix. That's true.
We're rated G for games. Let's talk about games. You get any good pickups this week?
I got possibly the best pickup, arguably the best pickup all year. I managed to find Super Mario Maker 2 on sale. On sale, Dan. On sale. Can you believe it?
Yes, I do. It's weird that it was on sale like a week later.
Yeah, I got it $10 off. I bought it on eBay, brand new from a reseller. I will have the game by the 12th, so come next episode, I can say that I have been playing Super Mario Maker 2.
Nice.
Well, you
Well,
picked up anything good, Dan?
I finally got Hollow Knight for the PS4. The PS4
physical?
version, yeah, the physical. The PS4 version was delayed for some reason.
It was delayed
so-
because of the DLC, I think.
I don't think. No, I don't think so.
Is it not on disc? No.
No. I don't think the DLC came with the Switch version or PS4 version. I know the Celeste and Messenger games are delayed because of the DLC,
right.
but not
That's right.
not the Holiday. I think it was a production issue with the disc.
Maybe.
So I have like not the standard edition, but I have like maybe I forgot, because they had like 3 different editions where it was like the standard, and you have the collector's edition, and then you have the special edition, because I have the map and the booklet and all that stuff. I just didn't get the plushie or whatever, not plushie, but like, you know, the statue and stuff. I didn't get
Sure,
any of that stuff.
figurine. I think is what.
Yeah, I didn't get the figurine. I love that game. I have it on the Switch digitally. I know I have a physical for the PS4. I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to pop it in and go back to that game. I put maybe like 3-4 hours into that game. It's really it is a challenging game.
Well, as our guest last episode, Derek Liu said, that game is big and long and huge, so you need to dedicate some time to it. There's a lot.
I have
going
a
on in
map.
that game.
Physical edition with a map.
Yeah, no, it's it's a Metroidvania through and through. So, and it does get difficult in spots. So,
and I finally have the physical edition for Terraria for the Vita. I have Terraria on the Wii U, but now I have it on the Vita as well.
Terraria, you mean 2D Minecraft?
Yes, pretty much.
That's exactly what it is. It's 2D Minecraft.
It's harder and harder to find on the Vita.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. No wonder you picked it up.
Harder and harder to find on the Vita. But I already had it for the Wii U, which is hard to find as well. So I definitely picked that up for the Vita. Dave, as we always try to start the show, but epically fail, what have you been playing?
Well, I have been playing absolutely nothing, Dan. If you can imagine that. Because it was the 4th of July weekend, and we all kind of disconnected and went down to the beach. So I didn't really have any time.
Switch with you to the beach?
I did. I didn't play it once.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm surprised. I'm surprised at you.
Yeah, I know. You figure, pop a little Mario Party, or maybe some Dead Cells, or some Messenger or something. Pick. Just didn't have any time. We were all kind of busy running around and hanging out and having a good time. Not to say that games wouldn't be warranted. We just we never got around to it.
So I beat the story mode in Super Mario Maker 2 on the Switch. So I built the castle, Peach's castle. Like, the beginning is you're playing it. You built Peach's castle, and then it gets destroyed by accident. And then you got to rebuild it by playing different levels and, collecting currency coins so you can buy parts so they can rebuild the castle. I did it. I gotta say, I really enjoyed playing people's levels, and I'll go in randomly and play different levels. I really enjoy this game. We're going to talk about it a little bit more later in the show. I just can't put this game down. I love Mario, and I love playing all the different Mario levels that people create. Good ones, too. Not the troll ones where
right, the ones where you take a step and a giant spike comes down on you, right? Or you run and you try and jump and you get hit by a block and then fall in the.
There's one level. I wish I can give it like 20 thumbs down, because you can like it and you can boo it, right?
Yep.
And there's one level where when you're in a castle in Mario 1 and you have like the flaming torches going around.
Yep.
Going around.
Yeah, the little like spinny flames. Yeah.
So I had one level where as soon as you start, the flaming thing comes around and kills you.
Oh my God! You just have to go running.
And then not even, because in front of you is all spikes, and it's all spikes. So if you go run and jump, you're gonna die, and you'll see the little white dots to where all the people that died. Right?
Of course, because you just don't know. You don't know until the level starts. Yeah,
I know. So I'm like, and then I know to jump backwards first, and then I keep dying. I was like, you know what? I wish I could give this 20 thumbs down. Because it's like, it's impossible to figure out how.
You need to give someone the chance. You need to give someone a chance to assess, even for like a second or two, to assess what the situation is. right? You
I
can't
know.
just jump them right into a giant pit and expect them to like survive. It's just not possible. Ugh.
So
Yeah.
so I had it. So I mean, I think we switched places because usually I don't like to bring my Switch with me. I use my Switch mostly as a home console.
I know.
Not in portable mode. It's
Mhm.
always in dock. It's probably going to morph into a boomerang at some point. I've been playing. I take it with me on the go to play Super Mario Maker 2, and just started Steam World Dig 2. Talking about
Oh, what do you
Metroidvania
think?
style games.
What do you
That's
think?
okay. I really can't give a fair assessment of it. I've only put in maybe like 45 minutes,
Mhm.
45 minutes to an hour.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's okay. I got past like the first 2 levels.
Oh, cool.
I'm not super excited. It hasn't grasped me yet. Maybe I just need to play more. It may not be a game for me. Who knows? We'll see.
Mhm.
So why don't we take a break? And when we come back, we get into the top gaming news of last week.
And in our convo of the week, we will go over our game of the half year.
And we're back. All right. Let's get into the top gaming news of last week. Let's start off with our lead story. Sony. Look, we talk about Xbox buying 3,000 studios in the last 2 years, right? 2 E3s. They're talking about how many studios
They've definitely
Over and over
acquired,
again.
I think, 7 to 8 major studios now.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
Sure,
12. I think they bought all in total. I thought it was 12 studios.
Maybe they had 5 or 6 last year, and then they bought they bought a bunch more. So, it's not a bad move by any means. We're definitely not trying to say that. We're saying it's a good move.
No.
Right?
It's an awesome move if you want to bring exclusives, right?
Mm-hmm.
To your platform.
Mm-hmm. And they have certainly been hurting for exclusive games this generation, for sure.
Listen, man, I don't care what you say. Quantum Break was great.
That's the game? Quantum Break?
Quantum Break was great.
I would have been like, all right, Gears, Halo. I mean, sure. And may have even tossed a bone to Sea of Thieves, but Quantum Break?
I'm not tossing shit to Sea of Thieves.
You already tossed them $60 for the physical copy.
And I was swimming in water and sinking my boat and stranded on an island with nobody to talk to. For the longest. But it made sense that Sony gets in the game, right? It's been reported that Sony's considering acquiring different studios, which makes a whole lot of sense. I don't think this is something new, though. Maybe this is being reported because this is in the news now, but I think this is something that's been in works. I mean, we talked about, I don't know, a month ago or 2 months ago, them buying 2K, right? And that
Take-Two, yeah. Take-Two?
Take-Two, sorry.
Yeah.
They own 2K. They own the 2K. They would have the ownership of 2K Series, Mafia, just a whole bunch of sports games.
All of the Rockstar titles, Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead.
WWE license, too, right?
WWE license. They would have a lot of stuff under their belt.
They would have a lot of stuff under their belt.
And, we kind of dismissed it because that came out of I think an analyst or whatever was saying that, hey, it would be a good idea.
Should buy it. Yeah.
If, for them to, get that under their belt and whatnot. Now we get kind of this news that, they're kind of shopping around trying to buy some studios. So maybe that was in the works. Who knows?
Maybe that was in the works and they threw that analyst crap out there just to throw everybody off the scent. And then next E3, they're like, guess what? You like WWE, you like NBA, it's all going to be exclusive on the PlayStation 5. Right? You want Red Dead 3?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
Yeah, you want Red Dead 3 only on PlayStation 5. That would be bananas.
No, but wait, I'm bugging. What you said, Red Dead? Red Dead's on Rockstar.
Yeah, Rockstar is owned by Take-Two.
So they wouldn't even just have Red Dead. They would have GTA.
That's right. That's right.
Like, hey, you want the new GTA game? Yeah, it's gonna be on PlayStation.
Right, PlayStation exclusive. That's crazy.
But I want to do this in a different way. I want to take a different look at this. What studio would you want them to buy? Not what you think they would buy, or maybe they, what would you want? What studio would you want them to acquire and have?
Oh, you know what? This is easy, Dan. This is easy. acquire Square Enix.
Wow.
Boom. There it is. There it is. I think that, I don't think Square Enix would do that. Well, maybe. I don't know. Given the right amount of money, they may do it because, remember, they started off on Nintendo platforms, the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, the Game Boy, and they saw the way the tide was turning, and Nintendo was going to the left hard into the cartridges, and Sony and everybody else was going hard right into the CD-based medium, and they said, look, if we're going to continue to make high-quality visual games that's going to require a lot of space, we need CD storage. So Sony said yes. They opened them with loving arms, and that was probably one of the best moves they could have ever made. They did eventually go back to Nintendo, made some games for the DS and 3DS and all that, GameCube. So they kind of bridged the gap, but to have Final Fantasy VII, if that was exclusive to PlayStation, that would be insane. The remake I'm talking about here, right? And then they would slowly bring all of their titles.
The remake is exclusive to the PlayStation.
Oh, that's right. It is. It is. Yeah. That's right. Never mind.
But what if you had all the other Final Fantasy?
That's right. What if you had 8 and 9 and everything else?
Nothing's coming out on a Switch. Nothing's coming out on an Xbox. It's all coming out just PlayStation.
It would all just be on the PlayStation, right? And I would be okay with that. Right? Because I'm thinking about a bunch of the other studios. I was thinking maybe like Devolver Digital, right? But then you would have none of the games on the Switch, which means you can't take it on the go, right? Sony doesn't have a portable console, which, you have to be very careful with, like, why I would want this to be exclusive, which means you can't play it on the Switch. It means you can't go portable. I would be okay with that, with all of the Final Fantasies, the Tomb Raiders, the Dragon Quest games to be exclusive on the PlayStation.
Don't forget the Marvel game, the Avengers game.
That's right. That's right. They are producing that.
That could be exclusive. Mm-hmm. Octopath Traveler. Mm-hmm. Right, that would be exclusive only on the PS4. The most mediocre game of 2018. It's great. Please, now you're not gonna get roasted for not remembering The Witcher. You're gonna get roasted for all the Octopath Traveler RPG fans.
Listen, I'm just being honest. It's a harkening back to the good old days. I'm like, sure, but you still have to have tight gameplay. You still have to have great visuals. You still have to have a story with memorable characters. Let's not forget about that. Sorry, Dad. Sorry.
Wow, shade.
A little bit of shade. I'm sorry.
Okay.
A little bit of shade. So if you had to choose,
well,
because you know I love SquareSoft, so that may not have been a big surprise for you.
So everyone's talking about Capcom, right? Mm-hmm. When this story first broke about them thinking about acquiring studio, everyone's talking about Capcom and a vast library of games, which makes sense, and I would be all for it. Street Fighter V was
only on
PlayStation, right?
Yep,
so
PlayStation
Street Fighter
PC.
6,
That's it.
Street Fighter 6, PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
Devil May Cry only on a PlayStation. That would be bananas if they had a Capcom library only on PlayStation. But I'm not gonna go to Capcom route because that's too easy.
Okay,
I'm gonna hit you with something that you probably didn't expect. You wouldn't expect.
All right, you're gonna head and challenge me. All right, what do you got?
I'm gonna say Activision.
Activision, huh?
You'll get Crash. You get Spyro back in the fold. It's definitely exclusive for the Sony platforms, right? Because they own the rights to Spyro and Crash.
They do.
And more importantly, you'll have Call of Duty. You already have like a special relationship with Activision with Call of Duty DLC, right? Mm-hmm. The marketing is for PlayStation. Whenever you see Call of Duty, you will see a PlayStation sign. So you'll have PlayStation.
Let's also not forget about Blizzard. Activision owns Blizzard, so you would get all the Diablo stuff and whatnot. That's probably about the only thing that's ever going to come to console is Diablo. It's hard to do StarCraft, hard to do Warcraft or World of Warcraft because the interface is just bonkers. But
they have, but the next BlizzCon they can end it not with a mobile game but with a new Crash game.
Oh my! Fans would be so salty. They would raise up pitchforks. There would be violence, Dan. Look, I'm not trying to throw shade at Crash, but people aren't there to see a new Crash game.
Crash Team Racing 2, BlizzCon.
No.
2020.
People want a brand new Warcraft strategy game. People want a brand new MMO. People want a brand new Diablo that's not mobile. All right.
I think
this is what they want.
at the Activision, I think Activision, they have the exclusive publishing for Sekiro. I know they I know they published that game.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you mean by exclusive publishing?
No, they published that game.
Mm-hmm.
Is Sekiro an Activision property? No.
I mean, if they published it, then yes, right? They would have the rights. They would have the publishing rights to it.
Imagine if you had Sekiro 2 only on a PlayStation platform.
Yeah. You would still never play it.
Never. Yeah. Sure. No, I'm not gonna play that.
But it would be a feather in Sony's cap for sure. Yeah. That'd be big.
Yeah. So I listen, that this makes sense. I think they're gonna go. I don't know if they're gonna go big. I think they may go medium, right? Scoop up a lot of medium studios. This is the race to who's gonna have the most exclusives, right? Next generation, and Microsoft has a gajillion studios that they purchased. Sony's sort of strategy is going straight to hardcore gamers, right? It's the same strategy they had with the PS4. Hardcore gamers. I don't know if they're going to focus a lot on indie games, though. I mean, that was another thing in the PS4. We play a lot of indie games on the PS4 and the Vita, right? So they had the indie platform, and then the Switch is just killing it when it comes to indies. So it makes sense. I think they're going to shy away more so from the indies and go straight AAA games, right? And spread out all the exclusives, which makes sense. Hardcore gamers, awesome. Perfect strategy. It wouldn't make sense for them to buy more, to have more studios in the fold to diversify their portfolio a little bit, right? Especially with now, the games like Detroit Become Human and Heavy Rain. They're no longer going to be exclusive on the PlayStation platform. They're going multi-platform now.
Right. Which is, great for gamers, not so great for Sony. I guess in that case, right? Someone's got to win, someone's got to lose, in every instance, right? It's great when fans win, because then everybody gets to play across the board, right? You kind of break down the barriers and whatnot. But I also want to see Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo succeed, right? I kind of want certain games to be exclusive because it gives you a reason to buy those consoles. So. I get it on both sides.
So, well, speaking of Detroit Become Human, Quantic Dreams. Their Quantic Dreams is now not tethered to Sony. They're going multi-platform now because they want to
party. I guess now
they got a lot of investor money, and the investors want their money back. So they're definitely going multi-platform with all the games, and you can probably see Detroit Become Human and Heavy Rain come out on the Switch if that's the case. 100%, we're going to see that in the future. 100%, guarantee it. Or they really want to make their money back, and I would be stupid enough to buy it if they come out with a physical edition. But this is something that happened that's weird. I've had PS Plus for a long time, and this is sort of the first time I've ever seen them actually remove a game that was announced and put something else on.
I mean, you could throw Xbox Live in there too. I've never seen them do it with Xbox Live either.
So, for July, they had Pro Evolution Soccer 2019, which makes sense because of, sort of the World Cup. The women, USA women won.
Yeah.
Right?
Team USA, baby. Let's go ahead and take a minute to give it up for Team USA for winning the Women's World Cup. That's amazing. And you're right. Not so I cut you off, but it's the perfect tie-in. It's the season. Well, it's always the season for soccer, but it's the season right now. It's the World Cup just ended, right? Let's give away a good free soccer game, and then they just up and twist it and say, you know what, we're not gonna give you Pro Evolution Soccer anymore.
They replaced it with a digital deluxe edition of Detroit Become Human, which is a great game, and for what it's worth, more replayability. And I know you didn't play it. You don't.
No, but I'm downloading it as soon as this episode ends.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get it, and I'm gonna go ahead and play through it because the game is, I've seen some playthroughs and whatnot, so I know. And we played it at PAX like 2 years ago, and it was great. We were all kind of really about it. So I'm happy that it's free. I still don't know why they swapped it out. It feels really weird to me.
Yeah, you know what? The more I think about it, it does seem weird. This would have been perfect. It would have been perfect if we had both for this month, right? Like that. I don't understand why they would swap it out. I mean, soccer just makes sense. So maybe all I could think of maybe because look, all the games that we get on PS Plus and Xbox Live, whatever game you get that month, those games that you get that month. Whatever we pay as a monthly subscription is divvied up so those developers are getting paid. It's free for us, sort of, because we have to pay a subscription fee, but it's not free for Microsoft and Sony.
Yeah.
They have to pay the developer. So maybe there was a squabble over the licensing, right, to actually put it up this month. Maybe there was some discrepancy in how much they wanted because they're like, this is crazy. It's soccer. This is perfect. We want more money. Or maybe they wanted to pull it so they can actually sell more copies because the USA won. So maybe they want to sell more copies instead of actually farming it out for free on a subscription base.
It's a possibility. It is fair to note that Konami makes the Pro Evolution Soccer.
Oh God.
So
say no more.
I don't know. I don't want to be Mr. Conspiracy Theorist, but I'm throwing my hat on and saying they may have something to do with it. I don't know.
Well, I defer to you when it comes to the soccer games. What's better, Pro Evolution Soccer or FIFA?
Oh, FIFA all the way. Yeah.
Okay.
Pro Evolution Soccer is good. It does have the licenses and all that. The gameplay is good, but FIFA gives you more, and it does have, I think, better gameplay. I do like the engine. It's pretty solid. The last couple outings were pretty intense. They do have the story mode with your character. You can kind of take your guy to victory. So it's a lot of things that Pro Evolution Soccer doesn't have. But it's still good by all means. But I would take FIFA in a heartbeat.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. I defer to you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of studios that Sony may be able to purchase, you never know, or exclusives no longer exclusive to a platform. Let's talk about Remedy. So Remedy now has officially regained the publishing rights to Alan Wake. So Alan Wake, if you don't know, was one of those spooky games that came out exclusive to the 360. They never made a sequel, but they did make the fantastic Quantum Break. Another Xbox One exclusive.
You love that game. You love that game like you love the Order 1886.
Whoa, no, that's blasphemy. Don't ever say that again.
It's a perfectly fine game. It's a good game, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's where it begins and ends.
Fantastic.
It's a perfect 5-hour journey. It's a perfect game you can beat in a lunch break.
No, Quantum Break. No, Quantum Break is like at least
no. I'm talking about the Order 1886.
Well, it's blasphemy. Don't ever put Quantum Break and the Order 1886 in the same sentence, okay? Order 1886 is in another stratosphere, okay? No, Quantum Break is fantastic, but it's not game of the. It's not going to be game of the year.
I mean, It's
going to be nominated. I did nominate it for game of the year 2016.
Did Alan Wake do well? I don't remember it making too many waves.
It has a cult following. People really love that game.
Sure.
I played it. It's backwards compatible on Xbox One, and I played a good enough amount of it. And I'm just not into spooky games. You really need to keep that light on. You need to keep battery power for your flashlight because that is definitely a mechanic. That flashlight. I've been meaning to come back to it. It's in one of those. It's in my backlog tray of things that I want to get back to, and just for some reason, just something new always comes out, right?
Something better always comes along, so you want to play that instead of Alan Wake, no?
Yeah, the Order 1887.
Well, here's hoping. here's hoping.
But now they have Remedy has publishing rights to it again. There are talks now of maybe a sequel because people have been clamoring. Well, the cult following people who have a cult following for this game, they're clamoring for a sequel. Maybe if they do come up with a sequel, it'll be multi-platform. Maybe Sony could buy Remedy. Who knows? I mean, if they did buy Remedy, let's just say, for argument's sake, they went out and purchased Remedy, it would fit the narrative of what they go with, right? Because Sony likes that first-person story-driven game, which Alan Wake is story-driven. Quantum Break, they went a little bit too far with the TV show.
Sure, I appreciate them trying to do something different. Just the gameplay could have used some tightening up in terms of game mechanics.
Oh, 100%. I give you that.
Yeah.
So I can see that. I could see this happening. Alan Wake multi-platform, and I'm talking about Sony, but again, just like I could see a combo edition of Heavy Rain and Detroit Become Human coming out on the Switch. I could see Alan Wake coming out on the Switch too, right? So they could swing it totally left and go on the Switch.
Yeah.
Speaking of Switch, let's talk about Nintendo. Nintendo, over the years, Nintendo's the godfather of modern gaming, right? Like Shigeru Miyamoto is the godfather of modern gaming, and Nintendo
100%
saved
brought
the
gaming back
gaming
from the
industry from a disastrous Atari ET
That's right.
launch back in the mid '80s, early '80s.
Late 70s was the Atari.
Well, the Atari's heyday was the late '70s, but the crash was 82, 83?
The crash was like 83, I think.
Yeah. So, Nintendo, their controllers are iconic, right? Starting with the NES controller, two buttons.
Yeah,
D-pad.
the D-pad was revolutionary. Everything before that was like a ball-top joystick, more or less.
And then you have the SNES, which is, I think, my favorite controller of all time because it has rounded edges, shoulder buttons.
The shoulder buttons was phenomenal. That was 8 buttons on a controller, and so many
Blew
controllers.
Your mind.
Yeah, so many controllers. Like just after that, the Genesis was only like 3 buttons in the start button, so 4 buttons maybe. 3DO was only 4
in fairness,
buttons.
they came out with a 6-button controller right after that.
Because the Super Nintendo came out, and they're like, we need to do that. It all comes like full circle. It wasn't until like the Saturn that Saturn had like 8 buttons plus start, so like 9 buttons total.
And shoulder buttons.
And well, that's what I mean. Yeah. I had the 6 face buttons and the 2 shoulder buttons. So, Nintendo.
And then we go. Well, then we definitely have the stick on the N64, which was weird because it was in the middle.
Yeah.
It was in the middle, and you didn't know how to hold it, and people still don't know how to hold it correctly.
It was a little bit awkward, but I mean, it worked out really well because you had the Z button underneath. So, Nintendo knew how to harness the controller because they're like, we have this great way to play these games, and here's how you do it, right? And there was technically 2 ways to hold the controller, and the D-pad was there for more traditional style games, and then the analog stick and the Z button were there for more, 3D, either first-person shooters or 3D adventure action games like Mario and Zelda. It was revolutionary.
Then we have the Wavebird for the GameCube, because the Wavebird was the best wireless controller.
It was, I mean, and they've been doing wireless controllers for a while, but Nintendo's like, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're not going to do infrared because that's real shaky and you got to have a clear line. Let's do RF because it can go like real damn far. And it was awesome. It was really solid, Nintendo
sort of
just keeps winning.
Going forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then we had the Wii with the motion controls.
Mm-hmm.
Then that took off. I mean, everybody. I mean, my mom wanted a Wii. I mean, you know it's crazy when your mom wants a video game,
right? Right.
Right.
So they are
Mom,
Oh, sorry.
My mom hasn't played a video game since the Atari. Okay,
so they are no stranger to innovation. All right, this is what we're trying to say here.
And then, in full circle, you got the Wii U with the gamepad, and that was sort of the prototype for the Switch on the go.
Mm-hmm.
And now Nintendo has put out that they want to create the next generation of controllers. What possibly could they do any better
than
the Joy-Cons?
Well, Dan, that is not for us to figure out, but that is for us to be surprised with and enjoy fully and go, yes, this makes total sense. Why did we not think of this? Because that's what Nintendo does best, right? And I guess, looking at this article, they kind of say that motion controls have not been perfected yet, right? Even though Nintendo made some great strides, especially with the Wii and the Wii Motion Plus, and then now with kind of the Switch and the HD Rumble and all that stuff, and the way you kind of use the Joy-Cons, they're still saying that they haven't perfected it, right? There's still some people that aren't necessarily super happy with it, or it's not that intuitive to them. So they feel that there's room to improve, right? And this is Nintendo saying it, right? Which is kind of the gold standard. I think we both kind of agree in that. So I'm excited to see what they do, right?
Yeah, but it's not going to be done for a long time, right? Because they want to support the Switch for at least 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So Switch came out in 2017. So you're looking at 2026, 2020. 7, you know, sort of, until we see an inkling of the next product past the Switch, maybe the Super Switch, Switch 2. But I mean,
Super Switch 2, yeah.
I don't know, but I mean, between now and maybe 2020, I'm going to say 2025, to be honest.
I mean, within the next 5 years, sure.
We're going to see the light Switch. We're going to, as you coined it, we're going to see the Switch Pro.
Right, the Super Switch and all that. Yeah, we're gonna see some iterations come through, and probably not until the next like full console generation, right?
I think we need to get away from the Switch name. I hope they don't pull another
XL
Switch U,
new XL and 3D XL.
No, just don't do Switch U, Switch us, Switch us.
Exactly.
Come on, it's Switch for us. That's why.
We
could all snap together.
Yeah, that's wow. Now you're thinking like a Wii U marketing executive. We
could all snap together.
You know what? For a second there, I was like, oh, they could totally do that. Please don't do that. That's how accurate a marketing slogan you have come up with right there.
Well, come on, I did take a couple of marketing classes in college. But let's stick with Nintendo. But last, we could Switch with us. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that was.
Yeah,
I can see the commercial now. Everyone's snapping their fingers.
Oh my God! No, please.
All right, but lastly, Nintendo is looking heavily in investigating in 5G. So that makes sense that they're looking at 5G technology. Switch,
I mean, like 5G as a data transmission. Right now, the best we have here is 4G LTE. That's pretty ubiquitous in major metro areas. Not so good in the countryside, in small towns and all that.
I hate to cut you off, but have you noticed? I mean, I know we have different iPhone, and I know you have the Google.
The Google Fi, yeah.
Google Fi. I don't know if you noticed, in certain spots, my phone says 5G.
Really?
Yeah. Like in certain areas, it's like it says 5G. Now, I don't know if I'm actually getting 5G speed.
Well, I mean, it depends. I guess it kind of depends what network you're on and whatnot. I didn't know they started rolling that out. Maybe Verizon started to do that in the major metro areas.
Well, I mean, I have AT&T.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long this has been prevalent. I mean, I just know I've seen it pop up a few times. I even took a screenshot because I was like, I don't think anybody will believe me. I took a screenshot of it. I was like, it says 5G. Look,
That's
it says
fantastic.
5G.
Yeah.
Like in certain areas, not everywhere. Like at home, it doesn't say 5G, but like I'm in the city. Like when I was on the rooftop watching the 4th of July fireworks and stuff, it said 5G.
Wow.
It told me I was in a 5G network.
Interesting. And the reason Nintendo and the reason we're talking about this now is for streaming, right? Streaming is the big thing.
You have the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Japan is big on handhelds because they like the game on the go a lot of times. Yep. That's why mobile is really big over there. That's why the Vita's still alive. Vita Island, baby. Japan, Vita Island still alive. People game on the go, and they've been testing streaming. Right, you can stream Resident Evil 7 to the Switch if you're out there. It was the other game that they streamed to the Switch. It was another game that they streamed to the Switch.
Resident
recently.
Evil and Assassin's
Resident
Creed.
Evil.
Yeah,
Resident Evil, Assassin's Creed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this makes sense that they're going to invest in 5G technology, maybe for the next iteration of the Switch. Maybe the Switch Pro will have 5G technology for a streaming service. Streaming purposes. Maybe you could stream.
That has to be what it is, right? And they want to target 5G because they're saying, I'm assuming they're kind of thinking, well, it's fast enough to be able to stream data, without having to like download it first or pre-cache anything. You could technically have a stream of Mario Odyssey or Breath of the Wild, like a real AAA title, not just like a small little indie game that has a little bit of data, a game that has like massive amounts of data. And you got to have it with zero lag, right? The input lag has to be near zero. Otherwise, people are going to be like, this is no good.
You've been in Japan, right?
Uh-huh.
You've been on a bullet train?
I have. It is super quick.
Do they have Wi-Fi on a bullet train?
I believe they did, yeah. I believe they did.
Okay. So imagine you're a bullet train and you have a 5G network and you're streaming Resident Evil 8
I would be fantastic.
on your Switch Lite.
You would
Your light switch, sorry.
You
Your
would,
light
you would get
switch.
to wherever you're going very quickly. So, you know, you need all that. You need all the speed you can get. All right, you want to be able to start playing your game as soon as possible.
Well,
Those bullet trains are quick.
we've seen Sony try to do this a little bit too early in the game with the Vita, because remember the Vita came out. You get the regular version and you get the 3G version
With the data plan and all that, yeah.
with the data plan from AT&T,
Yep.
and that was like, I don't know, like $60, $70 more or something like that. I could be wrong with the prices, but it's so long. But of course, when I got the Vita, my first Vita, I definitely 100% got it without the 3G, because who's going to use that? Right. I'm not paying another service.
No.
I'm not paying another service plan.
They didn't have. What did they have? They didn't really have much for it at the time.
Yeah. I wonder if you try to do it now, will you be able to still like get it, or they canceled that?
I mean, maybe. We haven't heard any talk about them canceling that service. Maybe they're still holding out for.
Maybe you know what, they probably canceled the service a long time ago, and it flew under the radar because no one cared.
Because nobody cared.
Nobody cared. So, all right, Dave, let's get into our convo of the week. Let's talk about half Game of the Year awards.
Half Game of the Year awards. Let's do it.
This is the time of year when we go over all the games that came out in the last 6 months, and give out our nominees for half Game of the Year.
Right. So we each decided to pick 3.
Pick 3 with an honorable mention. However, to be fair, let me just say this: we both haven't played Crash Team Racing and Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice.
That is true.
To be honest,
you got to play it a little bit at Penny Arcade, right? You see,
Crash Team Racing. I did.
Yep.
I had a great time with the Crash Team Racing at the PAX. But I will be honest. I'm probably never going to play Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice.
Game is very difficult.
Game is very difficult. But I'll go first. I'll go first.
All right.
I'll volunteer. My number 3 first, and my number 3 is Yoshi's Crafted World.
You love this game.
I love this game. This game has a lot of replayability, especially if you want to go in and collect everything that in all the stages. Which, got to be honest, if people knock this game because it's too easy, if you try to collect everything in 100% the game, that's when the difficulty ramps up, because you really got to figure out, how am I going to get this coin, and it's like under a mushroom, and you're going to try to jump, get the coin, hop back on the mushroom platform, and not get hit by something flying, right? So
right,
you have to get creative in that way. I love this game. It's cute, it's beautiful. The difficulty is what you make it. If you want to make it a collective one, that's when the difficulty ramps up. I think it's a perfect game if you're on the bullet train going to work or coming home. I spent lots and lots of hours. I spent all of PAX playing Yoshi's Crafted World.
Right.
And I actually beat it when I got back. So
nice.
I love this game. What's your number 3?
Oh, sure. So, my number 3, drum roll please, Kingdom Hearts 3. Surprise, surprise. The guy who loves everything that Square Enix does, more or less, picks Kingdom Hearts 3. Long time coming. 10 plus 15 years in the making, I think. I think 2004 is when Part 2 came out. Sure, they've had other sequels and offshoots and this and that, but we didn't get the true sequel till this year, and the game is amazing, Dan. I mean, it's Kingdom Hearts. It's Disney. It's Square. It's fantastic.
I wrestled. I'm not going to be. I'll be honest. I wrestled with putting this on my list for Game of the Year nominees.
Yep.
However, I just can't get over that the rocket ship going in the world.
It is definitely the weakest. It is definitely the weakest.
It's annoying and irrelevant. Just show me a map.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, it's gotten better, but it's still not great.
All right. So my number 2, and I gotta be. This was shocking because I This shocked me when I put it number 2.
You're the one that put it on the list.
It shocked me. I was like, wow, I really like this game. And that's Super Mario Maker 2.
Oh, hey, yeah.
This is like a guided tour through the history of Mario without having Mario 2. It should Super Mario Maker 2 doesn't have
Mario
or
2
assets for Mario 2. Super Mario.
I understand the first one because it was so different and this and that, and they're like, it's going to be too tough. We have to redraw all of the assets and port all the stuff over, use the Mario 2 stuff, and bring all that into the other games. And they're like, no, too many things to do, right? And then Mario Maker 2, and they're like, here's the opportunity. Nope. It's a sad omission, You
have Super Mario Brothers 1, 3, Super Mario World, and 3DS.
Yep.
I mean, not 3DS, 3D.
3D, yeah, 3D.
Mm-hmm. You have that skin and playing all the levels. First of all, this is like never-ending content. Okay, you want to talk about the Order 1886 being short? This is never-ending content.
Yeah,
because it's always
the exact opposite. As long as the kind of online network is maintained, people are still going to be making levels. Fantastic levels, by the way,
or terrible levels. Just
depending.
Make sure you rate these games so they go high or go low.
All right. Yeah.
In the list.
Just because it's super difficult and challenging doesn't mean it's a good level.
Because they can be brutally challenging. It can really be brutal. And then if you can make your own game if you want, or you cannot make your own game if you want, and you can play through the story mode, which is fantastic. And I didn't 100% the story mode, by the way, because after you build the castle, there are other levels that you can go back in and play as well. And I didn't 100% it. I just built the castle and that was it. And I went in playing levels that other people made. So
nice.
Content is never ending. So what about you? What's your number 2?
My number 2 is the game of the show of PAX East, Katana Zero.
Nice.
The game that I dragged you over to play that you said, I don't know about the one-hit kill mechanic. It looks kind of cool. And you're like, you got to play it. And you fell in love with it. I love this game. I love the mechanics. I love the gameplay. I love the rewind mechanic in the game. I love the graphics, the synthwave sound. I love the story and how it unravels. I kind of just wish there was more to it. It was kind of short. I felt like it could have used I want to say like challenge levels, some, additional kind of like, okay, here's some stuff that you can kind of run through, speed mode, this and that. They could have rankings and all that other stuff. I felt like it was missing a little bit, but even like with all that, I still love the game. I still
don't worry. When Limited Run puts it out, they're gonna have DLC ready for it. And you'll have more content to play.
Yeah, I hope so.
No, that was a great choice, and I just wish my only disappointment from that game is I wish the dialogue options
actually meant something.
Mattered. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
more
100% agree.
Than it was
because they kind of said that. They made it seem like it would, even the guy who was there was like, oh, the dialogue options you choose changes the game and the way you play and what gets unraveled. It doesn't really, spoilers, doesn't really matter.
Well, if it does, I didn't really see a big difference.
No, I think it mattered very, very little, if at all.
Okay. So I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench, okay? So I got an honorable mention. Didn't make my top 3 list.
Yep.
And no, this is not number 4, right? This is an honorable mention of something that probably is not going to make anybody's list of game of the year.
Oh, all right.
But I want to give it some love, and it's Box Boy plus Box Girl.
Oh, sleeper hit over here. Interesting.
I want to give it. I mean, the only disappointment for me is that, 1, it's digital only, and 2, the ending is so weird because I don't know if you can get the good ending because it teases you with like you can make it to the I don't know if it's really spoilers because it's a puzzle game, but you can make it to the rocket, which seems like a good ending, but you get consumed and destroyed, right?
Huh.
at the end. Like
Right.
no matter what I do, I keep getting destroyed, so I can't make it to the rocket. Don't know what I need to do to get to the rocket. I don't even know if you can. I haven't looked it up. I haven't looked any walkthroughs up or anything like that. But that would be my only disappointment with this game. The puzzles are fantastic. They're not too challenging. I would say about 5 hours, if even, maybe, depending on how, if you get stumped on a puzzle. Even if you get stumped on a puzzle, you can ask for help, and I think I've only asked for help twice.
Mm-hmm. Why don't you ask help on the last puzzle? Or is that not an option?
It's not an option because it's you're not in the world. It's like the Kingdom Hearts. You're flying through the stupid spaceship. You're not actually in a world.
I see.
So it's the same. It's the same thing. It's like I beat all the worlds, and I think there are only like 12 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And each world has like 5. Man, I beat it a while ago. Maybe like 7 stages.
Right.
So puzzles aren't too challenging, and you can always ask for help. So, I want to give it an honorable mention.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Not bad. Not bad. So my honorable mention goes to Tetris 99, the free-to-play game on Nintendo's online network. As long as you have a subscription, you can download Tetris 99 and play the Battle Royale puzzle version of Tetris, which just blows my mind.
So I finally downloaded it. I haven't played it yet.
Mm-hmm.
I downloaded it over the weekend, just so to remind me to play it. So I want to at least play it once.
Yeah,
I am not great at Tetris.
You got to.
Be honest.
Yeah, I mean, you can easily get to like 50 or 40 or whatever fairly easily. It's not that difficult, I don't think, but it's it's a great little battle royale game. They did release DLC for the single player, which I think is very funny. Just some DLC if you want to play solo. It's like okay, and it's like $14.99. Now, granted, the game is free to download and play, so that's kind of the charm of it and whatnot. So I guess they got to try and make some money somehow. But yeah.
So my number one
Mm-hmm.
is Devil May Cry 5.
Oh, I have yet to play this game.
It's a beautiful game. I love the mechanics. It reminds me so much of Bayonetta, and you know how much I love Bayonetta 1 and 2.
Right.
The boss battles are tough. Not gonna lie, the boss battles can get a little tough. They're not as easy as the Bayonetta boss battles.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas button mashy, right? It does. You can buy, and look, again, I always joke about I'm grown man gamer, GMG, never have enough time to do anything. It's never enough time in the day to do anything.
Right.
Where I don't mind buying some of the red rubies or crystals, and I want to go back to Devil May Cry 5 because I stopped because I was playing Days Gone and I was playing something else. But Devil May Cry 5 has never left my coffee table because I definitely want to get back into it. I have it on an Xbox One. Again, beautiful. Really like the story of the DMC series.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have to give it to that so far.
Nice. So my number one, and this was a little controversial because you were like, I don't know if it belongs on the list, and it's not really a brand new game, but I thought the remake of Resident Evil 2 deserved a nomination because of how much they've done to a beloved classic and how they've kind of brought it into the 21st century. They added a bunch of new features. They got rid of the tank controls. It's now all fully 3D. They redid like everything about that game. The puzzles, the map layout, the graphics, the sound design. They added a bunch of new modes in that game. It's crazy. Added new story elements.
I mean, listen, that's you. I know you love the game, and it's going to be nominated for Game of the Year on a lot of people's lists.
Of course,
because people are already talking about it as maybe their Game of the Year so far. I just don't see how an old game that's remade, it's not a brand new game, win Game of the Year. Mm-hmm. It's not a brand. To me, in my opinion, it's not a brand new game. Now, you can make the argument that they've changed so much that it's
Well, that's
no
what I'm saying.
longer an old game. Well, okay. If you've played and beaten the original, can you fly through this?
No, because so much is different about it.
Okay.
Like, sure, you would have an easier time because you know some of the stuff. Like, oh, there's like this puzzle and this thing and the whatever, and it's like kind of basically the same. So you would have a little bit of a leg up, but it's still different enough to where, your first time through, like, no, I mean, you're going to want to explore around. You're going to want to find some stuff. You're going to want to do some digging and, unlock all the locks and get all the power-ups and special stuff. So, yeah, I mean, you'd have a little bit of an advantage, but I don't think that much. I'll say that. I know, it's controversial. It is controversial, and I get where you're coming from. It is based off an established game that has already come out, but there's enough new about it.
If they remade Uncharted, like I love Uncharted 4, right? Mm-hmm. If they 20 years from now they remake Uncharted 4 to be more modern, 20 years from now,
mm-hmm.
and made it, I don't know, VR.
Mm-hmm.
it's VR is the new thing. I mean, it's perfected 20 years from now, and it's
mm-hmm.
like so immersive, and you become
mm-hmm.
Nathan Drake. You walk into his shoes.
Well, I mean, you could make the argument that the VR experience is what would get nominated, right?
Yeah, but it's a game that I already know what's going to happen. I already know the ending. I already know the story.
Well, sure.
They put the gun is on the left side instead of the right side. I'm not jumping off of any new buildings. It's the same building, the same cliff, the same
mm-hmm.
story.
Mm-hmm.
It's just modernized 20 years later.
Maybe, because this actually brings up a very good question. Like, maybe they need to have a category for best remake.
Well, they do. Some outlets do have a category for best remake.
Well, there you go. So they have a way for it to get recognized, but without producing all the controversy.
But it would still be nominated for Game of the Year.
Well, I mean, I'm okay with that too, but some people could make the argument that it's already an established game. But
we had this argument like 2 years ago, I think, when it came to PUBG, right? Because it was nominated for Game of the Year,
and it was still in alpha.
Only in early. It was still in alpha.
In early access, yeah. So that game definitely wasn't complete, but I think they were honoring the game because it was such a monumental achievement. It was the first. Not necessarily like the first Battle Royale game, because that goes to like Arma 3 or like Arma 2 mods, like back in the days when they started doing the Battle Royale thing. And there was some other games that I think started to do that. But this was the one that made the biggest splash, that put it into the spotlight, and they basically birthed a genre, right? That was really that was the Wolfenstein or the Doom of 100-man Battle Royale games. Right. And it was like everyone was jumping on this game. Everyone had to play this game. Bugs and all, people were still playing that. So I feel like they were nominating it because of that, and not because it was a perfectly polished game.
Listen, the game, by all accounts, looks fantastic. I downloaded the time demo and played a good 10 minutes. Spooky games aren't for me. I'm not knocking it because it's spooky. I'm just knocking it because it's an old game that's with a new coat of paint.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I'll allow it. Nominated for Game of the Year.
There we go. Guaranteed. We're going to have another discussion about this come December, when we have our Game of the Year nominees and ultimate winner. So this discussion is not over by a long shot, let me tell you. And on that note, I think that closes out episode 145. That is put in the
75.
books.
75.
That's what I said, 175.
You said 145.
Oh, I said 175. You can go back and listen. So, if you want to interact with us, and we know you do, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. So please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
keep gaming.